No, I don't like paying retail at all, but this is a fragrance that has been on my list as a must-have, as I absolutely fell in love with this fragrance as soon as I smelled it. And it's kind of risky, but it's a flanker of one of my favorite leather fragrances in the space. So of course I had to pick up Memo's African Rose. Now this is not a first impressions. I had a sample of this joint and it was love at first sniff, but the bottle was just extraordinarily expensive. So I was able to get a tester at a nice steep discount, and I'm gonna be re-smelling it now after months, hoping that the scent still moves me the way it initially did. Let's roll my music so we can revisit Memo's African Rose. I'm mad excited.
We're all alone. Yeah, for some friends from the south side, in case you cared. Out of all your friends, I want to be Cuba.
Bless you morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, 𝐷𝐸𝗏. Finally got my paws on a discounted Memo African Rose. One of the most beautiful rose fragrances that I experienced months back, maybe even more, like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. I completely forgot. I don't have the sample anymore, don't even know where it is, but I always knew that I needed this fragrance. As you guys know, as followers of the channel, I'm a huge fan of Memo African leather. I think it's absolutely one of the best leathers in my collection. Something about that spicy, leathery nuance that Memo pulled off was just perfect to my nose. It hits all the factors and nuances and elements that I like in a fragrance that smells spectacular on me. But when I smelled African Rose, I went in with no kind of like, let's see what kind of energy it's off of, and completely blew me away at the time. So this one is fresh out of the mailbox, and this is more like a reintroduction to the fragrance. From the actual bottle presentation, it's actual atomizer, hoping that I still like this fragrance and just in time for the perfect season to wear a rose fragrance, which is entering the fall space as we're getting chilly mornings of 50 degrees already. So without further ado, let me jump right into the scent profile. Maybe we'll rediscover the notes of this fragrance, but first, I've just been wanting to smell this shit, so let's go. My God. This is, Jesus Christ, this is craziness right now. Oh, wow, let me go on skin. I don't even want to, I don't want to smell it from the test strip anymore. I don't want to smell it from the test strip anymore. This is like, oh, in that last video that I did, rose fragrance, that I said there was an honorable mention that I didn't have, and I probably said the name African Rose. This was that fragrance that I was waiting for. It wasn't ready for that shit. Did I just spit in the air like fucking weirdo? Chef's kiss. Chef's fucking kiss. The rose is super prominent. It just hits. You know it's a rose fragrance, but it just hits beautifully. There's no geriatric energy. I don't feel like I'm gonna dislocate a hip. I don't smell like dusty old pussy with cobwebs. This is a whole vibe. Oh, let's go over the notes real quick while I let this macerate into my skin and just sop down into my pores. All right, so the notes of Memo's African Rose start off with saffron, cardamom, and bergamot. Then we got rose, geranium, and cumin. Then we got leather, oud, patchouli, musk, and vetiver. What this really means is that it's literally the partner in crime to Memo's African Rose. They complement each other absolutely beautifully and can potentially be a crazy layer. I may try that. It's breathtaking. It's absolute breathtaking. It's gorgeous. It's melodic. It's beautiful. It's symphonic. It's a perfect song with the right voice, with a magical lyrical composition. When we speak about artistry, for me, others can disagree. I don't know who has said what about this fragrance or even know about this shit. For me and my personal taste, this shit is gorgeous. This is like the personification of what a rose fragrance for a dude should smell like. Excellent. The only thing, if I would give it a little bit of a critique, it has a little bit of a rubber mallet kind of smell off of my skin, like this little rubbery essence, which sometimes with that oud and rose combination kind of gives that off. There's nothing off-putting about it. There's elements of freshness. There's a little bit of subliminal spice. The rose is beautiful, bloomed, bright, sexy, slightly sugary. There's no real rough edges around this joint. It still has vibrancy and life and elements of freshness. This is what I'm talking about. This was the honorable mention of rose fragrances that dudes can absolutely pull off. Memo African Rose. I guess the second con of this joint is that it's expensive. It's an expensive fragrance. Buy a tester, buy a partial used. Like, I'm all about buying used fragrances. Like if the shit is 50, 60, whatever, like at a dope price, I'll pick the shit up with this many I'll never get to it still. I can still enjoy the full presentation if I need the full presentation and the essence of the fragrance without having to blow the bag. Some dudes are just tired of the scent or are just like, let me make some money off of this shit or whatever and then flip a half a bottle. Sure, I'm with it. And in this case, as a tester, I got no cap. I don't need a fucking cap, who cares? I just wanted the scent and it's fucking beautiful. Absolute ball sprayer, 100%. Memo African Rose. Memo knocked it out of the park. It's a beautiful companion to Memo's African Leather. One of the best rose fragrances in my collection. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know who it is. Biggest in the game. Have you smelled this? You probably haven't. And you slacking. I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know who it is. Biggest in the game. Excuse me. Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? Wanna know who's gonna pass the test? Cubaknow.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, molar roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense, you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.